guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound. It's another of our video calls. We are catching up with everybody while we're all stuck at home at the minute, and I'm delighted to say Lights is on the line. How are you, Lights?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me. Nice to talk to you.
Always good to talk to you too. We'll start this off like I've started off every single one of these, which is just to say, of course, I hope you and the family and all that, you're staying as safe and as well as you can in this very, very strange time we currently find ourselves in. How has your lockdown kind of been going for you so far these last couple of months?
Well, we have like a big yard and the weather's been amazing and I have a lot of music to work on. There's been like emotional ups and downs. I think this is how it's been for a lot of people, right? Like major depression meets like self-discovery and trying to understand a lot of stuff about yourself. So in all of the weirdness, I think that hopefully some of us are walking away with some better understanding of ourselves, so that, you know, there's like these deep layers to that, but also on very surface level, I've just been gaming a lot, making music, sitting around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like most of us, man, it's good to find ways to keep yourself occupied and find things to do. And on that note, we should, before we get any further, say, of course, you are on the current cover of Rock Sound, which is very exciting. Great to have you back there. And a unique position. It's been the way with a couple of people in the last few months. Of course, a cover shoot done in and around home and kind of in places local to yourself. What was it like putting together that shoot for us this time?
Oh my God, it's cool to be able to do stuff in your yard. I mean, it's kind of like a one-time use thing. You can't like do every shoot in your yard, but we did. I brought my cat in for it, and one of my girlfriends who shoots me all the time did it with me. I think I've done a couple of the covers we've done with her out here remotely. The challenges of living in Canada and you guys being all the way over there, but it's fun. It's really wicked getting to just be creative and be comfortable and have a drink, you know, pour yourself out a little tequila and do a shoot. So there's some really good elements of being able to shoot at home, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine you must know, of course, a few perfect spots around your house and stuff. Be like, oh, this is the place. Come this way. We'll get a shot here, right?
Yeah. Like we have, like I said, we have big property and big garden and lots of really cool spots. But also, you know, BC, Vancouver area is really beautiful. So part of the shoot, we were able to drive out, you know, 25 minutes, and there's just like unreal mountains and lakes and whatever. So we shot a little bit there at golden hour, and it was just unreal. I always take it for granted that we live in such a beautiful place, but whenever I see the photos back, I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. This is a joy.
Yeah, amazing. Definitely a good place to have been stuck for a few months for sure.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Out there. Yeah, 100%. And of course, talking in the interview and everything as well about these remixes that have come out. Congratulations on that release, first of all.
Thank you.
You know, I guess let's talk a little bit about how that came together. Obviously, you talk about it in the mag a little bit, but yourself and Myth putting together this project, what were the kind of beginning stages? What made you want to explore this electronic side of your music even more?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've always kind of dabbled in that world, but never. I mean, I actually even in recent years started to do my remixes of my own and stuff. And obviously, like with every remix, my production gets better and better and better. And even now, the remixes I'm working on are even better. But pairing up with somebody like Tyler Myth, who's already such an incredible producer, obviously came up in the metal world, but now dabbling in electronic, we're learning so much from each other. And I think having been on the Deadmau5 tour, having had a bit of experience with, you know, the track I did with Felix Cartel and the EP I did with IO, I was able to get a better understanding of dance music and get to even integrate with the fans on the Deadmau5 tour and perform for them every night for like 6 months, you know. I had this new appreciation for dance music and the fans and the culture there, and it's fun, man. It's really accepting and versatile, and everyone just wants to have a good time. And I think there's just, once you start to open up that catalog of like sub genres of all this different types of dance, you make all these playlists and suddenly you're exposed to all this music. And it's been nice actually listening to music that doesn't always have a top line, you know, doesn't always have vocals. Sometimes I actually prefer listening to just instrumental because I'm so distracted by lyrics. So that's another perk. I'm like, oh, I'd love to just make instrumentals. Yeah, so there's just so much to be discovered with dance music, and it's a really exciting twist of artistry to be able to remix something that exists in another genre and bring it into another land. So I don't know. The thing is like the way music is now, everything's blending. You know, like Rez is doing collabs with Under Oath and Marshmello, Data Remember. Like there's just so many mergings of these genres that I don't think anybody cares anymore. They just want to hear cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's very, very true. And I do also hear, you can hear some parallels. Like some dance songs are as heavy as anything you hear from
Oh
a
my
metalcore outfit or
God.
anything like
So
that. Like,
I swear, like dubstep drops are the same to me as
right.
like hardcore drops, you know?
Exactly. No, I see a lot of similarities when I go to shows as well. Like, there's a lot of similar community and similar vibes going on. It's
Yeah.
really cool. So it makes sense in that way. And you say, of course, there's a talent in taking something that's already existed and putting this new kind of spin on it. I wonder, because this project, of course, with Myth, there's some new songs on there and there's some reworking of old stuff on there. How did you decide to pick the ones you did from your past to kind of rework in this way? What was that decision process like?
Well, it's kind of a two-layer process. One of them being what I had stems for. Some of them I'm like, okay, I just don't have the stems for this. Or I wouldn't have the vocal or something because what I had from like Siberia was just instrumental. I didn't have the vocal because we use some of those tracks to play live, but we're not keeping the vocal. So the vocal got kind of lost in the shuffle. And for remixes, you kind of want the vocal. Although on the remix EP with Fight Club and with We Were Here, the songs were so differently pitched and changed in tempo that I had to recut vocals for them. So ultimately, those are like brand new tracks, even vocals and everything. But the fact is, there's no rules. Just do whatever feels good, and that's kind of how we found the songs we wanted to do. It's like, okay, let's mess around with Savage. So the original remix we have for Savage is really different, and it evolved and evolved. And we're like, okay, I get a sense of that. What's next? Almost Had Me's like kind of in the 128 BPM realm, which is a good dance tempo. Let's try that one. And we look at tempos and what kind of vibe we wanted to go with. A good like kind of tropical dance tempo is like 100, 101, and there was a couple of songs in that tempo, so pulled those ones, and some didn't work, some did, but it's just kind of like messing around till it feels right. There's no like rule book on what makes sense on how to pull it off. It's just kind of like going back and forth with ideas, you know.
Yeah, you won't know what works until you try it, I guess. You just got just got to
Exactly.
experiment. Got to
Just throw it
experiment.
all on the wall and be like, oh, that one's good, everything else sucks.
Yeah, that works. Hey, whatever
Yeah.
gets it through, whatever gets it through.
Exactly.
Let's talk about Dead End in particular, then. Of course, the kind of lead kickoff track with that, so huge, got such a great reaction from your fans. How did that
Yeah.
one in particular come together in the studio?
That one has that track came so far. The session started in 2017, and it was an entirely different song. I was just messing with production ideas and then layering in vocals, and then the production would evolve, and I'd take away those vocals and write something else, and just everything progressed and progressed and progressed until I wrote Dead End. So it was a song that was like years in process. And then when Tyler and I were sitting down talking about doing this remix album, we're like, man, we should put some new songs on here. I'm like, fuck, I have a few stored up that I've been sitting on for a long time that aren't necessarily down up dance style, but I'm like, we could like rework them, make them dance songs. So yeah, batshit outdoor sports, and actually outdoor sports I wrote on my last tour in the UK in our sprinter van. The whole time, every day I was working on that song. But yeah, they didn't initially necessarily start as dance songs, but we took them and kind of reworked them because we wanted to put some new ones on there. You always get more action out of new songs than you do out of remixes anyways.
Yeah, it's funny you say you have loads of unfinished stuff there because there's a great quote in the mag. Again, I was just reading it through. If people haven't checked out the feature, go check out the mag. There's a great quote in there. You said you had something like 100 unfinished songs lying around at the minute. Is that true? Is that an exaggeration?
Yeah.
No, really that many? Wow.
I have so many songs, and it's funny. Like I was working on one today, and like one that I started yesterday. And I'm like, I think this is a dope song. Maybe it gets lost in the shuffle. Maybe someday it resurfaces its head 3 years later. And there's like a degree of guilt I feel for like just always making new songs and not finishing really the ones that everybody thinks are good. So that's the challenge. I'm like, oh, new song. But I have so many, and it can't be a bad problem. Like everything I do makes me better at production and writing and get those melodies ideas out, and then you can access new ones. So it's not a bad thing, but I have a lot.
Yeah, you got the vault going there. The vault is
Vault.
building. There we go. The Prince style vault all building up. I like that. Well, let's talk about kind of what could be coming next on these guys, because we know you're going to be continuing Skin and Earth in some way, shape, in a variety of forms, really. I want to mention TV shows still happening at this point. I mean, I know it's obviously schedules and everything are kind of all over the place these days, but that's very exciting. Those plans kind of coming into place there.
Well, we have writers. We have these incredible writers on the show, Jen Kretschmer and Jay Bushman, and we have something really special pulled together to start pitching. But obviously, the pandemic happened, and like everything got shelved. Especially like shows that are kind of apocalyptic. People are like, "Oh, that's too real. Maybe let's do something lighthearted." So I think who knows? Who knows with those kind of things? I think yeah, everyone when you go to like LA, say everyone and their dog has a show in the works, so it kind of doesn't mean anything, but at the same time it's really special to me, and I hope that we can do the show someday because it's going to be sick. It's going to be so sick.
Man, fingers crossed. We look forward to seeing it when it does arrive. And of course,
Yeah.
the next stages of Skin and Earth and the continuation of that story. Where are you up to in terms of that? Have you kind of got it all planned out for where you want this world to go next?
Yeah, actually it's all in here, but it's
Okay.
also in here. This is my computer. It's in
Oh,
there.
okay.
Most of it's written out in a degree of forms. Obviously, the ending is less solidly written than the middle portion, which will be the next installment. Right now, the process is just drawing it. And I don't know how connected the next arc is going to be to the music like it was in the first arc. I think that the thing is like anything's possible with it. You can connect it in really interesting ways. Like in the first arc of the comic, there was a character within the world who was never really spoken of. It was just in the background, and she was an artist. Her name was Loon, and there was like posters of her, and the main character in the comic like would wear her shirt, but it never spoke of her. But you understand that she is like an artist within this world. She's a musician. So there's really interesting subliminal ways to connect music and art that don't have to be as obvious as what I did last time. So I'm exploring what those are, because obviously, when I wrote Skin and Earth last time, it all was written with, and the songs were written with the story in mind. Whereas this time, the stories sort of being written, the songs are being written, and they're not necessarily connected in any specific way yet. But so I'm kind of exploring options to do something new the next time around, or maybe they live independently on their own. I think that there's so much opportunity. Like Skin and Earth has become its own animal, and my music will always be my music. So maybe it merged then, and maybe they diverge. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, it's happening. I just need to draw it. It takes so much time. It takes a lot of time.
That's fair. I know. It's very time consuming. I think everyone understands that. That's very, very fair. In terms of new music then, I mean, like we said, we've got loads of unfinished songs there, and you're kind of thinking about where it's going to fit in with Skin and Earth next and everything. And of course, there is new music that's just dropped, but have you thought about what might be coming next, when we might hear some more new stuff that's lights, straight up lights this time? What are you thinking?
Well, let me tell you, dude, like there is so much music, and like I said, I just signed with Fuel By, so this will be my first record with Fuel By, and they've been amazing and really fun to work with. I just love the people there. So I don't know when stuff's coming out. It's so weird. Everybody's pushing their releases right now, and I think next year is going to be so oversaturated with music and maybe shows again. So there's so many question marks about when things are going to happen, but they will, and it's going to be sick. And the more time I have to spend on it, the better it's going to get. So, I mean, I guess I could just leave it at saying, like, I literally have like a dope album in the works that I love all the songs of, but I just keep writing more. So maybe it gets doper. It's not getting worse.
No bad thing. That's
Yeah,
what we call
it's not
champagne
getting
problems,
worse.
lights. That is
That's
champagne
what.
problems
That's
right
what.
there. That's all good.
That's what. It
Not
is
a bad
funny though,
thing.
because every day I'm working on stuff, and every day I'm being turned on. Like, I'm in a great place musically because I really enjoy music right now, which is a weird thing to say, but there were years of my career and life that, because music's my job, sometimes I just don't like listening to it. Sometimes when I just want silence. When I'm driving, I don't want to listen to anything. And it's actually, for the first time in a while, just loving discovering new music and listening to tons of stuff. So, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, because I'm really enjoying and discovering new music and just fucking loving it. But at the same time, every day I'm like, this is the style of record I want to make. No, wait, it should be this. Oh, I got to change all the production on the past songs I did, or add more of this because I want it to be more like this. So, point being, I want the album to be really cohesive and all sit together in the right way. But every month I'm like on this new kick of what that should be. So we'll get there.
Well, we'll get there. That's exciting, though. It's good to be hyped up for it. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of kind of, writing more stuff and everything, I did notice on your Instagram the other day, a few shots with yourself and our good friend Lynn Gunn in there.
Yeah.
Now, I know you guys are buddies anyway, but was that Was that a writing session? Was there some work going on there?
Oh yeah, it was so fun. We were just chilling. She has no AC at her place. It was just
Oh
a
my
heat
God, bless
box.
her.
It was a heat wave. We were sweating, laying on the ground, made some drinks, just had a good time working on stuff, and both of us are really inspired on a lot of music right now. Um, what that transpires into for a record or whatever is yet to be determined, but we just like, it was like creative as all hell, like playlists flying, music going, because she does production, I do production, so we were trading off on ideas. So who knows what that's going to form into, but because they've got a ton of shit going on with PVRIS music and all that new release happening. I think that record's coming out this week, maybe
Yeah, a
this
couple
week
of
or next week
days.
or something. Yeah,
Such a good record,
it's
by the way. Really
great
great.
record. Yeah, I'm sure you heard it. Like
Yeah,
she sent it
brilliant.
to me, and it's so good. I'm gonna work on a remix for it, I think.
Oh,
And
great. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
she did actually remix on my last album too. So it's just really fun sitting down with another girl who does production. Man, I'm telling you, it's pretty few and far between to be able to sit in a session and just bat around production ideas with another female. It's very I would say it's pretty uncommon.
No, it's cool to see. It's a great collaboration. I thought, very intrigued to see what comes out of that because that
Me
seems to make
too.
sense to me. So all those together, I was like, yeah, I see that. That could work
Yeah,
very well musically.
it's like long overdue for sure.
No, for sure, man. No, very exciting, very exciting. Well, I'll leave you with this, Lights, because of course, the last time we kind of chatted properly, at least on camera and stuff, was when you were over here in the UK. Did some amazing shows. It was slam
Yeah.
dunk time. It was all those kind of
Yeah.
things. Such great reactions over here. I just wonder, kind of, what are your memories of playing these shows in the UK? Because the crowds over here go nuts for your live show. They really do.
Man, I love playing over there. I have to be honest, like when the first show we did when we got over there last May, and that was the last time I was over there, was in Manchester, I think. And it was a small little place packed to the hilt, and like the second I got on stage, people started singing every word, and I think that's what sets it apart from shows over here. I don't know, people sing here, but they're a bit more uh like slow to get into the vibe, and a few songs in there all singing, and they fucking came in hard every show, singing so loud. It was so fun. It made me love, like, I just had the best time. And like I said, I wrote Outdoor Sports. Like, I was really inspired on that tour, and Slam Dunk was a blast. My specific memory from Slam Dunk was this is such a throw and go festival and so fun, dope crowd and everything, but like you have no time to set up, and we have a lot of gear, and we had no sound checks. It was like, kind of get ready. There's no really dressing room, no mirrors or anything. I was like, oh, I probably should like do my makeup or something. I'm like, does anyone have a mirror? And there was no mirror anywhere. I'm sitting in the Sprinter, and my UK agent goes, oh, I think I have one. Digs into his pocket, pulls out a mirror. I've never seen a smaller mirror. I didn't know those existed. It was like I can't even find a thing that's that small. It was like this small. It was the smallest mirror I've ever seen. I was like, okay, why do you have that? So I remember setting that little mirror up on the like back seat of the back of the seat in front of me and doing my makeup in the tiniest mirror. It was so funny. And then he gave me the mirror. It's a great gift.
There you go. Well, next time you're stuck here in the UK, you're always sorted with a postage stamp sized mirror.
I couldn't believe it existed. Like, why? And why does he have it?
Just for situations like that. That's all good. Works well.
What up, Ross?
Yeah,
Shout out, Ross.
yeah. Shout out to you, Ross, man, if you're watching. Lights, it's always really great to chat to you. Congrats again on the release. Great to have you back on the cover of Rock Sound. The shoot's so great. The interview's great. I encourage you to go and read it. And
yes.
We will see you back here in the UK whenever that's allowed, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yes, please. I can't wait to come back when this is all over. We can do shows again. And again, thank you guys for the love and support you've shown me over the years. Like, I can't say thank you enough. I love anything I do with you guys. So appreciate you always.
Always great to chat to you. All right. Lights, everybody.